Did you miss us? The premium pop-up shows, excuse me. Wow. So excited I can't even get it out properly. The premium pop-up shows are back right here on Coach and Company. I am Mike Pendleton in the host chair for these premium pop-up shows, and get used to it because the coach has given me the opportunity to fire these up whenever we feel it is the right time, and there is no better time than today. Are you kidding me? Conference tournament Tuesday. And if you watch the morning show, you know one thing. I've got a best bet on the Big Ten conference tournament all day. I've got two best bets, actually. I've got Maryland, who are about to tip off here. The Terrapins taking on the Oregon Ducks. We are Maryland plus 3.5 from the morning show. And then also later tonight, in what feels like a home game for the Northwestern Wildcats, I've got them minus 6.5 tonight as they take on Penn State. So it's a full focus for my picks to the Big Ten tournament. However, right now, Maryland, Oregon, and right above that, we're going to have Syracuse and SMU. So we are going to have live updates. I've got plays here, and I'm going to get those plays in right now because guess what? It is about to tip off in the Big Ten clash between Oregon and Maryland. So here are the picks I have for you. Now, I doubled up and I did Maryland plus 3.5 for this graphic to let y'all know we are all in on Maryland, right? So if you are sick and tired of hearing it, too bad. You're going to hear it more. We are on Maryland plus 3.5. All individual plays. Do not parlay this, obviously. Maryland over 67.5. And then in the first, and that's team total, by the way, for the entire game. First half over 63.5. Couple chalkiness with a minus 125s, but we do what we can to provide live action for you all. And then Missouri State, which will start in about an hour's time, versus FIU on the money line, taking on Florida International at a minus 110. Those are the four plays. And if you guys have ever been a part of our premium pop-up shows, well, you know that we always keep you on your toes with a few live plays. Now, it is only me today, and I know it's a weird start time. I have to work the Celtics game tonight, but I wanted to do something for you all, so this is live, free, and available for everybody, not just premium members. But we wanted to keep that premium title there because I love hanging with you all. So shout out to Big Cheesy in the chat. He says Virginia Tech minus 2.5. Play of the day. Big Cheesy, I actually love that. And I know you and I don't always see eye to eye on picks or, well, anything. Let me publicly apologize. I didn't know you were going to be here, and I wore Bears gear, and I know you're sick and tired of me wearing Bears gear. I'm just trying to manifest a big move for Chicago. That has not happened yet. But a congratulations to you, Big Cheesy, as Mike Evans signs with the San Francisco 49ers yesterday during day one of the legal tampering window for NFL free agency. And a big shout out to our other very loyal member of the chat, a premium member himself, Mr. JC1. Good afternoon to you, sir. It should be a fun time. So we're going to keep everything kind of locked and loaded here. And my point about this for you guys is that I need you guys. I don't care if it's JC1 and Big Cheesy telling me how wrong I am throughout the day. I'm okay with that. But when you're riding solo, I need you guys. I'm going to lean on you guys. We can all have conversations, and we will. We'll talk about these games. Maryland out to a 4-0 lead. Syracuse down by 4. Doesn't help what I have, but that's neither here or there. I do have some live plays of my own on Syracuse and Maryland. And Oregon starting out cold, giving an opportunity here. They're 0 for 3. The Ducks are giving an opportunity for Maryland to build on that lead early. But we know, I mean, it's less than 3 minutes in the first half. Plenty of hoops to go. So you guys interact with one another, interact with yours truly as we kind of keep the motions rolling here on the show. And again, it's just me. So there's going to be a lot of moving hands, a lot of moving parts. But we'll go through some headlines throughout the world of sports that we've seen today, especially right now. There's none bigger than the NFL tampering window and a lot of the moves we will see across the NFL. And I get to kind of just vent and talk about a few of them. The big one so far being Geno Smith traded to the New York Jets. He goes home to Florham Park, New Jersey, and I don't get it. I don't understand bringing back a guy who not only never did anything for your franchise to begin with, but also fell off in a big way last year for the Las Vegas Raiders. The Seattle Seahawks, well, they didn't miss him one bit. They went and won a Super Bowl title. So I think the Seahawks made the right decision with Sam Darnold at quarterback, by the way. So the Jets, you had Justin Fields, and I have to give them some sort of credit because this quarterback draft class is not good. But to me, this now comes down to what was the asking price from a Kyler Murray? Was Kirk Cousins not an option? Carson Wentz, not an option. There were other names that I feel like as a football fan, I would have enjoyed seeing a bit more in comparison to Geno Smith. But it's a late round pick swap in the trade. The Raiders now, I mean, we get it, right? They've spent, I believe the number was $283.5 million on day one of free agency. That's what they agreed to terms on. They also, and what I believe, and we have yet to talk about it on the morning show, and I'm going to hope we can at some point, they also signed center Tyler Lindenbaum to a fully guaranteed $81 million contract for the center position. Now, there's some language in the contract where they can't come out and say it's fully guaranteed, but I believe in the way that the scheduling of the contract is, he would have to be released, but they would still owe him $60 million, and he'd have to be released next season. I do not see that happening. So for all intents and purposes, Tyler Lindenbaum got paid in a big way by the Las Vegas Raiders. And credit to them, because they must all be in on Fernando Mendoza. All the chips pushed to the middle of the table. You now got a veteran center who is widely respected and highly regarded around the NFL, and you're going to put him with a guy who's going to need it, right? And they've spent so much of their free agency money shoring up the defense. I don't know that they have enough playmakers outside of Brock Bowers and Ashton Jency, but we shall see. We'll see what the Raiders do. But for now, Geno Smith long gone in Las Vegas and returns to Gang Green and the New York Jets. Elsewhere, staying in the AFC East, you have the New England Patriots signing former Green Bay Packer. And you know what? JC1, why don't we just do this, right? Because I know you're here. So JC1, why don't we hit a little goodbye, see ya, adios, Romeo Doubs out of the NFC North. He leaves the Green Bay Packers for a 4-year deal with the New England Patriots, paying him about $20 million a year. So big deal there for Doubs. Now, the reports have come out and said that the Patriots are not going to shy away and are still interested in potentially trading for veteran superstar A.J. Brown. That's big. I do think the Patriots, and they did address their offensive line overnight last night, but I do believe that's where they need to really center their focus for Drake May and Mike Vrabel, because we saw what that Seattle defense did in the Super Bowl, and that is whatever the hell they wanted. So, nice move, I would guess. I don't know that it's a great fit, because I like Kayshon Boutte. I like Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas, if you will. I thought those two wide receivers were very, very good in Drake May's offense, at quarterback. So it's one of those ones where You understand it from the player perspective. I don't understand it from New England's perspective, because if you really wanted to get A.J. Brown, I would think that's where your focus lies, and you would do anything to make that happen. They didn't. So those are the two big headline moves. Another move, and if you put your ear down to the ground closely, you can hear. Oh yeah. No, that's coach. That's the coach. He's celebrating that Isaiah Pacheco is gone. Isaiah Pacheco has signed a deal with the Detroit Lions. The former Kansas City Chiefs running back now replaces David Montgomery behind Jahmyr Gibbs. So big move for the Lions. When you trade David Montgomery, you have to have that complimentary back to Jahmyr Gibbs. They find it in a very angry style runner. And I can't wait to hear Dan Campbell talk about Isaiah Pacheco. This man's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He runs like somebody stole something from him every single time he touches the ball. So I cannot wait to see him. Not happy he's in the NFC North as a Bears fan, but a big move for Detroit nonetheless. Those were the biggest news items so far in the NFL today. I know we have the World Baseball Classic tonight, and I feel some type of way about this because there was a viral clip that came out, I believe, from last night's game. Cal Raleigh behind the plate, and his teammate Randy Arozarena. I will be talking about baseball. No worries there. Oh wait, I am talking about baseball. Randy Arozarena steps out to the plate, goes for a little courteous teammate handshake, right? Because they both play for the Seattle Mariners, and Randy Arozarena gets shrugged off by Cal Raleigh. And after the game, he goes off on his teammate. Let's talk about awkwardness, but then let's also talk about how fun this is. Because this is great, honestly. If you've watched any, and I don't care what country you root for, what country you may have put a bet on, the World Baseball Classic has been filled with emotion. It has been filled with passion from the players to the fan base to energy that we rarely see in Major League Baseball. So I love this in the World Baseball Classic. But if you're the Seattle Mariners and you were so close last postseason, you got to get a grip on 2 of your biggest superstars here. I don't think it's a big deal. I really do believe Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena should just laugh this off because it's not that big of a deal. But for all the talking points of, hey, just take the 2 seconds and acknowledge your teammate. Baseball's supposed to be fun. Let the kids play. When you use that, right? I know baseball has ran with that model for so long. Let them be kids again. Yeah. As a baseball player, if one of my closest friends was playing on the other team, we'll laugh about it after the game. But we're not exchanging pleasantries during the game, and we're definitely not doing it on a world stage as big as the World Baseball Classic. So, this is just another reason, while all the stuff on the diamond has been overly exciting, should I mention Aaron Judge living up to not only being the Yankees captain, but Captain America for Team USA throughout the World Baseball Classic. And that makes me sick to compliment a Yankee as a Red Sox fan. But how about Roman Anthony? How about one of the best young prospect outfielders in baseball, if not one of the best young hitters in baseball, in Roman Anthony, following up Aaron Judge with a 3-run home run, just one-upping Judge, who had a 2-run bomb. Here's my point. You're playing for your country. You're playing with a sense of pride. And if you don't think Team USA baseball saw what Team USA hockey did in the Olympics for this country, and the passion and the thrill and the joy that each and every single player on the Team USA men's hockey and women's hockey team had representing their this fine country in the Olympics, you'd be kidding yourselves. So it is absolutely lighting a fire under the likes of a Bobby Witt. What an amazing defensive performance. Aaron Judge, Roman Anthony, Paul Skeens, and now this overshadows the Tarek Skubal conversation. He might come back. He wants to be back, but he's not going to pitch. He wants to be with the team. This is the problem with baseball. All these silly narratives, which every sport has them, but no sport more than baseball puts emphasis on the unwritten rules. Here's a very public, unwritten rule that should never be discussed again. If you are teammates in the MLB and you are playing against one another in the World Baseball Classic, you are not the best of friends. You are playing for pride. You are playing for your country. You are playing for the highest honor outside of a World Series championship. So, tip of the cap to both guys. Tip of the cap to Cal Raleigh for standing his ground, and then tip of the cap to Randy Arozarena for saying it is a little messed up. And the reason I say that is because so many times we don't see athletes care, or sometimes we see them care too much and they just want to fight. Now, I would love to be a fly on the wall when Randy and Cal link back up in Seattle, but we'll have to wait and see for that. That's all the baseball coverage you're going to get, though. JC1, thank you. SF Niner, yes, I'm very serious about football. It's the free agency tampering window. It's day 2. We have plenty of moves still to be monitoring. I think the biggest one being Trey Hendrickson on the defensive side. Where will Kyler Murray land? But that's not why we're here. I mean, let me just look right here. If you guys remember the old winter time when we were doing these premium pop-up shows, my neck would be up here, it'd be over there, right? I just little glance over. We rearranged the office studio here, and I can see right there with just a quick glance to my left, a 12-3 lead for the Maryland Terrapins. And when you got them plus 3.5 right now, we're vibing. It is a vibe on a Tuesday afternoon. I am Mike Pendleton. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Shout out to Big Cheesy once again. If you guys are looking for other plays, and I will go back to my plays in the next 10 minutes, but if you are looking for other plays, I will once again bring it up here for Big Cheesy. He says Virginia Tech minus 2.5. It is not one, but 2 hammers. It is the play of the day. JC1, if you have any plays, any questions, if any of you who are watching, whether it be on social media or on YouTube, have any questions, we will, or I will. I'm so used to being here with a team. I will react in real time to said questions, whatever the case may be. Let's cash some tickets. Let's have a good time. And let's leave all the negativity elsewhere, right? Like, I'm getting this opportunity to host these premium shows, and I'm doing it for you guys. We went free for everyone. We put it on social media for everyone because I asked to do that for you guys today, because I wanted to spend time with you guys today. So if you're coming in here just trying to start up a little fire, we're going to put that out very quickly, and you can exit stage left. So JC1 would be very, very curious to see if you have any plays, any questions. If anyone, again, has any, we will get to it. Now, we are at the half for Syracuse and SMU, a highly contested game back and forth between both programs. And SMU, they are up 39-38. So you guys are going to have to bear with me here. And I believe, yes, okay. So right now, all we have currently is Maryland and Syracuse, Maryland and Oregon on the board with Syracuse and SMU at the half. Coming up at 5 o'clock on the ESPN Plus or ESPN Unlimited is the American East playoff semifinals, UMass Lowell and UMBC. UMass Lowell underdogs by 7.5. And then another one of the best bets I have for these plays is Missouri State on the money line over FIU. That game starts at 6:30 Eastern. Shout out to the Queen. I don't have and I'll have to make it. And I promise you I will make it because Chat Queen Kimberly is here. And I promise you, Chat Queen, because we're all like family here. If I am being given the opportunity to host these premium shows, and there will be several of them over the next few weeks, Chat Queen, you know how much respect I have for you. I will get some ceremonial queen entrance music for you for the next premium pop-up that we do. Because you know one thing, Chat Queen, Kimberly, cannot do this without you. You show up for us every single morning. You are always with the Weekday Wagers crew. I have so much respect for how committed you are to both sides and on the BTT side with all of our wrestling content. So, Chat Queen, your presence never goes unnoticed, and I will make sure to honor it as such moving forward. JC1 says he likes Stephen F. Austin -5.5 tonight. All right. They're taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Very fun fact, JC1. Texas A&M Corpus Christi is like one of the first schools I go to when talking about like mid-season college basketball betting, right? When you're like, man, how much of a degenerate can you be? Have you ever bet on Texas A&M Corpus Christi? Well, JC1, not saying you're a degenerate because we're in tournament action time. And props to you because you're not betting on them. You're betting against them. So a tip of the cap to you, sir. And then he has been watching that Detroit Mercy +4.5. Shout out to our numbers guy, Raphael. We had spoken and he had some business to attend to, but I do believe we will get Raphael on some of these shows moving forward. Also interested to hear from the chat because I know we've got people all over. I think I know where JC1 is going. What conference tournament are you most excited for? Because we heard a little debate on the program yesterday between DG and Brandon from BetMGM tonight, Brandon Combs, going back and forth. Is it the Big 12? Is it the Big 10? The ACC, which we're currently waiting on, right? Like automatically, if I'm doing a premium pop-up show and 20 minutes in, you go to halftime. Now, granted, I made the schedule today, but NBA schedules happen and work happens. So we have to fit in where we can get in. And if the ACC tournaments are going to halftime, well, you know what? My love for the ACC tournament goes down a notch. So is it the SEC? JC1 says Big Ten for sure. I'm testing Kimberly. I want to see if Miss Kimberly will say the Big East. Somebody has to say the Big East. I think. Don't we? I'll tell you which one I'm most excited for because I picked up the narrative about halfway through the season and I've ran with it. And you guys know me. I am not going to shy away from any team that I get behind, whether it's in the moment or, like a Bears fan, for the entirety of my life. So give me the MAC. Give me the MAC conference, MACtion, right? And the Miami, Ohio 31-OH, 31-0. Undefeated Miami Redhawks throughout the regular season. Not the betting favorites. It's actually Akron who are the betting favorites to win that tournament. I can't wait for all of that to play out. Now, is it as important? No. And I'm actually with JC1. That's why I have two plays from the morning show on the Big Ten Conference Tournament because I love the Big Ten. I grew up in Chicago. It's kind of hard to grow up in Chicago and not at least appreciate and respect the Big Ten. Not a fan of the any teams in the Big Ten. I will admit, before I get raked over the coals, I am all in on Arkansas. And here's how that came about. Have been a big LSU football fan for a very long time. Right? And then the Lane Kiffin debacle happens this past offseason or at the end of this college football season. And to be quite frank with you, I love Death Valley. I love Baton Rouge. I don't think, and I've never been, right, but I love the atmosphere of an LSU home game. But I don't think in good faith that I can get behind all the craziness that Lane Kiffin has now brought to LSU. And I'm curious if you guys have ever had that, where a player or a coach has joined either your favorite program or your favorite pro team, and you go, I'm still going to like and watch the games. But as far as being a passionate diehard, I got to take a step back and assess the situation. So I say all that to say, woo pig, because I am all in on the University of Arkansas, Darius Acuff, and John Calipari, and the Razorbacks of the University of Arkansas. That's who I'm riding with throughout this season, and we'll see how that goes. Thank you, JC1. He says he's got plenty of fam in Arkansas. He will ride with Mikey Profits. Mikey Profits is back. And listen, JC1, all I am saying is we've got 9 minutes. Now, I'm going to bring up our best bets here. Not really liking where we're headed for one of them being the first half total. It takes two to tango, and I don't think Oregon woke the hell up. So that's kind of a problem. But we'll get to that in a moment. But, I mean, Mikey Profits may have just arrived on day number 1. This is day 1. You have heard Coach say it about our brand so often when it's time to really hit that reset button. For the premium pop-up shows, this is day freaking 1. Kimberly, I want to go back because I believe you said something. You did. And I want to make sure I address it. I don't know if he's still here, but if he is, happy birthday to you, Big Cheesy. I will say, as someone who finds himself on the opposite end of a lot of debates and picks with you, Big Cheesy, it sucks, right? Because you would think maybe we could work it out. Maybe I can get on Kiss Up Mountain with Big Cheesy and we could be the best of friends. But until then, we love having you here. I love when you're in the chat. I actually really enjoy the back and forth that I get with you, Big Cheesy. And I know he won't admit it, but I know Coach does as well. So a big happy birthday or belated birthday to you, Big Cheesy. Thank you for your dedication to the brand. Kimberly says, I want to see Miami, Ohio sweep the tournament. Travis still promised he'd show up to Selection Sunday party in a Speedo. Okay. So, as a guy who made a pretty bold proclamation during the football season and then lived up to his word and got a good, better, best Ben Johnson Bears tattoo, I can't hate it, right? Like, I can't be upset at Coach Travis Steele. That's awesome. But, like, all I'll say, Kimberly, is Ben Johnson simply took his shirt off, and he did so to feed families, right? The Wiener Circle restaurant in Chicago, or I guess you can call it a restaurant. The Wiener Circle said they would feed, I think it was about 2,000 hot dogs to the city of Chicago if Ben Johnson took his shirt off. He did just that. Travis Steele, I think, is just doing it. I don't know, Kimberly. I'm not here to hate on anybody's swagger. But I don't really buy in on the Speedo. However, I wonder if... No, never mind. I'm not going to go out there and say, what if Miami, Ohio wins? I'll do, the ice bucket chat. No, I'm not going to do that in a speed. No, Mike, stop. Don't get ahead of yourself. Relax. All right, I promise you guys these picks, and plenty of you are watching, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, especially being back. I won't lie. Yes, I've sat in the host chair for the coach when needing to fill in while he is away for PGA Tour events. But this is nerve-wracking, right? Because I've been given the opportunity to sit here and hang out with you all while we try to cash some tickets and maybe even play some live bets. Kind of hard at 5:30 Eastern time to get a lot of live action, but I'm happy that you all are here. So for anyone who missed them at the beginning of the show, here are my 4 best bets. Really 3, because one of them's from the morning show, and they are simply mostly revolving around the game we have on right now because we love live cashed tickets. We are on Maryland plus 3.5. And we are also on Maryland team total over 67.5. And last check, right now, it is 19 to 8. 19 to 8, which means that third bet that you see there, which I'm not very happy about right now. First half over 63.5. And, well, I was never a math major, but 25 points. We've got a ways to go if we are looking to cash that first half over. I would like to, excuse me, I may have done that wrong. I told you I wasn't a math major. We're at 27 points. I'm an idiot. But still, the point remains. We need 37 points. I don't love it. And then one game that we'll be starting later because we're not going to stay on long today. Again, I just wanted to bring it back for everyone. I wanted to have a good time with you all. Where did I go? There we go. That was weird. I just wanted to bring it back for everyone and let you guys know, like, this is just the appetizer. We're getting started on day one of the big conference tournaments. I know there's other ones that see quarterfinal, semifinal action already, but we are getting started today when the big conferences get started, and it won't just be me all the time. So we're probably looking at about an hour to 90 minutes, unless you guys flood the chat, unless you guys bring more people in, and we just keep going and keep going and keep going. So Missouri State money line versus FIU Florida International. That game starts at 6:30 Eastern. So probably not going to be around for much or any of that game at all. We've got just under 8 minutes left in the first half. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't like to sweat. I don't like to sweat in the gym. That's why I don't work out. I don't like to sweat at all. I don't like to sweat when it's hot outside, and I definitely don't like to sweat during premium pop-ups. But what can you do? We're going to sweat because we got 27 points. We need at least 37 more with less than 8 minutes. And as JC1 says, we need a lot of threes. Well, right now, every time I look over, the ball's in the air. And I don't mean going towards the hoop. I mean somebody's losing it. There's a turnover, a bad pass. Guys, put the damn ball in the hoop. I don't think I'm asking for much here. Such is life. I think we would take a 3-1 premium pop-up. Although, again, kind of double dipping because I did Maryland plus 3.5 and I already had it on the morning show. So 2-1. We'll go 2-1. We'll take a 2-1. Chat Queen Kimberly says Reese Davis asked if he agreed to it because the swim team showed up to many home games in swimming attire only. That makes sense. But again, you know how much respect I have for you, Kimberly. And you know I like me some Miami, Ohio Redhawks. But Coach Steele's not feeding families. Ben Johnson fed families. If you are going to disrobe yourself, it should be for the greater good of everyone. I love the commitment. I love the balancing and the giving back to the swim team. But if you're not feeding families, you're simply not doing enough. Also want to go back to another comment from our chat queen who says, anxious to see what happens in the Big East. I know my Muskies. And by the way, I have something that I want to address with the chat queen. But it says, I know my Muskies had a rough go, but I'm hoping to get at least one win in. Chat queen, you are very nice. You have a lot of patience and a high level of tolerance for a lot of us here at the brand. But you should really, really, really be getting on everyone who mispronounces. It's Xavier. It's not Xavier. It's not X gonna give it to you. It's Xavier. Shouldn't be that hard. So, Chat Queen, feel free. If I'm ever hosting, you can just let them know in the chat. All right, we are back as well in the ACC tournament. The 14th seed Syracuse Orange taking on number 11 seed SMU, and Syracuse still trailing by 1. JC1 says like Xerox. Yeah. Never thought I would say that ever again. Ever. Haven't heard that. Have not heard that word in a very long time. So thank you, JC1, as always. And good. Kimberly says, I'm listening. And preach. It's just what we do, baby. That's what we do. All right, so little update here. We are likely, I'm going to put it at like a good old 26%. And that's probably way too damn high to hit this first half over of 63 and a half. But we are at 21-8, 5 minutes ago. I mean, it's simply, can somebody help me out here? It's simply not possible, is it? Again, I'm loving. No, JC1, you did not show your age because I knew what you were talking about. But, and I'm going to give the chat permission. You guys are going to be able to get screen grabs of like Sad Mikey P, right? Or Depresso Espresso Mikey P, because these guys cannot make any baskets. We're at 31. We're at 31 and we need 64. So, great. I mean, Oregon is 2 of 16 from the field, while Maryland is 7 of 25. Why discrepancy on both? I don't know what makes me more frustrated, especially as someone who, not at the level of Coach, not even at the level of a young Peyton King Lettuce, but as someone who did play basketball, I don't know what makes me, and I'm a diehard basketball fan, I don't know what makes me more sad. The 2 of 16 or the discrepancy in shot attempts between the two teams, right? Like, I mean, Maryland, make a few more because then I would be very happy. But also, Oregon, I mean, we got to hit something. That would be nice. We do have a big night in the NBA as well. Potential NBA Finals preview matchup tonight with the Spurs and the Celtics, which is the main reason why we are cutting out early tonight. A very fun under-the-radar game, the Toronto Raptors and Houston Rockets, and then also late, a very late start on the West Coast, the Minnesota Timberwolves going to La La Land to take on Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers. And I don't get a lot of opportunities just to like jump off at something off the cuff. And I have to right here, right now. JC1, I think you're going to agree. Kimberly, if you watch any of the games, I think you'll also agree. What are we doing with DeAndre Ayton in the NBA? There is literally nothing that entices me about DeAndre. He had like one good game. If someone can remind me of the game he had that like made ESPN headlines, I think he may have went perfect from the field. But DeAndre Ayton, you are a former number 1 pick. And I was watching the game over the weekend. I forget who they were playing, and I should know this if I'm going to rant about it, but that's how aggravated I was. I forget the opponent. I believe it was the Knicks game. And the commentary team it was the Knicks game. Now, okay, you won that game. And the Lakers have been playing well. You know, they're on a 2-game win streak. They lost to the Nuggets, but before that, they won 3 straight. So they won 5 out of their last 6. But DeAndre Ayton, could you be any more lazy in your life? As a former number 1 overall pick, could you be any lazier? When the commentary team is saying, oh, the Lakers had to slow down their offense because DeAndre Ayton can't get back on offense to set a screen. Dude, they're not even trying to get you the basketball. It is so frustrating. And I just give you guys a little preview of Rant Wednesday, right? Like tomorrow, Coaching Company morning show live, preempted on Stadium this week, but live on our YouTube page right here where you are right now, 10 a.m. Eastern. You'll hear Big Tommy C, myself, Brandon, and Raphael giving our rants. And this isn't even on the docket for me. This is just I'm hanging out with a lot of people that I respect and enjoy and appreciate the company with, and that's you guys, the family. I wish it was Coaching Family because that's how I get Coaching Company, right? But the family that we get here on the premium pop-up shows with yours truly, like that's where I feel. So back to DeAndre Ayton. I don't even know how you could, and yes, as Kimberly points out, when you have the bag, which by the way he didn't get because the Lakers and no team in the NBA would pay him more than what he's worth, right? When you look at supply and demand, and we can see it in the NFL free agency right now, even if you are worth something, you could be worth everything to an NFL team. Such is not the case for DeAndre Ayton. Dude, you're not even that orange thing, that basketball thing that you get paid to put in the hoop. Your team's not even asking you to do that. There are 3, maybe even 4 or 5 guys who they would rather put the ball in the damn basket before they gave it to you. All they're asking you to do is get your lazy ass up the court. That's all they're asking. It is mind-blowing to me. All you have to do is be 50% better than what you've been over the last 2 years, and maybe you would get that credibility back. But when you're in a prime time marquee matchup against the New York Knicks and you're getting called out, not only for not running up the court and kind of ruining the flow of the offense, but the announcers are going, yeah, well, this is what JJ Redick talks about, right? This is what JJ Redick has said. They want to make him a big, important part of the roster, but they can't. Why? Because he's not giving the effort. So I've seen in the chat Kimberly and JC1 having their lovely shots at LeBron James. And you know what, guys? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take shots at LeBron James because I like to go against the grain, if you have not noticed. So I have nothing bad to say about LeBron, and I absolutely love Luka Doncic. I will say this, was not the biggest Luka fan. I probably fit in with what everyone has had to say about Luka Doncic. He complains too much. He gets out of shape. He's this, he's that. He is literally, Kimberly, you're going to pop me. That was great. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I wish I didn't see it. That was fantastic. Honestly, make me want to log off right now, Kimberly. That's how bad that one hurt. You didn't just poke the knife. You turned it. That one hurt. We'll bring it up here in a second. But when Luka Doncic got traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers, in probably the craziest NBA trade we've seen in a very long time, we saw a guy lose out on, I believe, over $100 million because Luka was no longer eligible for the Supermax. Great. I'm now rooting for that guy. He plays on autopilot cruise control. So everyone who says he's slow, he's this, he's that, you lost me there. Luka Doncic plays at his own speed. He plays at his own pace. And guess what? He can't be guarded. So speaking of can't be guarded, SMU now up by 9. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm going to actually, while we're on, and I hate looking off camera, but while I'm by myself. So you guys got to cut me a little bit of slack. I'm going to see what my live plays were. I know what my picks for the show were. JC1, I 100% agree. And by the way, we'll address it later. But Kimberly said, "La butt kisser." Do you see my face? I'm trying not to smile right now, but do you see my face? That one hurt. That one hurt. Because you're damn right. I'll be a butt kisser all day long. I'll take it. And yes, going back to what we were talking about earlier, the NFL money has been sick through a day and a half of free agency. So we will see where these two games go. Little update here. We are not getting that first half over. All right, JC1. Now JC1 got a shot. All right. It wasn't poo poo face. It was simply a stone cold stern that hurt me look. Poo poo face is when I'm not even going to advocate for poo poo face because I don't like it. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's a thing. I make a face when there's something I want to say, and it's usually not my turn to speak or something hurt me. That's what that is. Yeah, so we're gonna land on a like less than 45 points. It is 31-12, Maryland over Oregon. So I love this, right? We are just about halfway to the team total of 67.5, but we will go 0-1, and I can hear it right now. I can absolutely. Oh no, he's not texting me, but I am definitely hearing, oh, you idiot, stop playing first half. Sorry, coach. My bad. By the way, live line on Maryland, minus 13.5. So I'll take that plus 3.5 all day long. And if you watch the morning show, you know I said I believe they are a live dog. I just wasn't ready to sit or stand on that business. It is 33-12, and we are at halftime of the Big Ten first round conference tournament. Terrapins just having their way. And I know Coach mentioned this as well, but we're talking about two teams, one that has 11 wins and one that has 12 wins. What are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? All right. Well, okay. All right, JC1, you and I are good. Kimberly, since you are the chat queen, you're really the brand queen, right? You're the queen of BTT, the queen of coaching company, the queen at weekday wagers. I have nothing bad that I can say or ever would say. If you want to call me the butt kisser, go ahead. Completely understand that. Now, you know what? Because you're here, Kimberly, I have to ask you. Your Pittsburgh Steelers, because we're at halftime of the game that matters most, right? The Big Ten game. So, Kimberly, your Pittsburgh Steelers sign Rico Dowdle. Oh, God, now I just remembered. I'm going to have to say this guy's name while getting flack for it from Kimberly and Coach. And we're going to talk about it more because it's the Chat Queens team. Great. So, Rico Suave is your new running back. And Michael Pittman was acquired in a trade by the Pittsburgh Steelers to kick off free agency. So, Kimberly, I'll ask you, and really anyone in the chat, how are you grading your NFL team's offseason so far? Those are two big moves. And no, you're not going to get me to say, I'm going to say it one time, Rico Dowdle. I think I got it. I think so. The good news is Ralph's not here. Coach isn't here. No one's here. Rico D sounds good. No, JC1. Phrasing on that. Rico Suave. If or just Rico at this point. Or just Rico. And JC1, I know you are a Bears fan. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on how the team has progressed in free agency. I know as a Bears fan, we have several people from Chicago on the brand. Khalif Raymond, former Detroit Lion, agreed to a contract today. Also, right before we went on air, just a very low-level move. Cam Lewis, a defensive back, joins the Bears on a 2-year deal. But the Bears do miss out on Max Crosby. They did not sign Tyler Lindenbaum, and there has still been no big pass rushing edge rusher acquisition, whether it be in trade or in signing. But this feels weird, JC1. So I'd love to get your thoughts on the moves that Chicago has made, because in my opinion, it feels very weird. We're just waiting for that domino to drop, right? We're just waiting. It feels like it's going to happen when everything, quiet, it's too quiet. I think that's what will happen in Chicago. Also, the longer it takes for Trey Hendrickson to sign, the more excited I get as a Bears fan, because he might be outpricing himself on the open market. Kimberly says, those are two moves I can approve of, but I wish Aaron would stop being Favre 2.0. So that is obviously Aaron Rodgers. And I get that, right? Because you have to know, where are you going come April at the NFL draft? I hate to say it, but if come April there is no Aaron Rodgers news, you might have to look at Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Now, he's not the only option, but he may be the safest option that you can pick up early. So I don't know what the Steelers are going to do at quarterback, and then you can always possibly turn to a Kirk Cousins, a Kyler Murray. I'm going to just stop right there. I don't want to piss off Kimberly anymore. I couldn't see Carson Wentz in Pittsburgh. I just don't think that makes sense. JC1 says, the center retirement, leaving $24 million on the table, sucks. No effort on Trey, a couple no names. It's typical Bears. It is, but this feels different. This feels like the coaching staff has identified their player type, and they're waiting for the right number and the right person. Kobe Bryant, the big splash safety signing for Chicago. I love it, but it likely means goodbye to both Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker, which I don't get. I think you could bring back one of them. And that's exactly what JC1 says as well. If we can get Byard back for less money, that would be nice. But you need a stud on that defensive line. I think something's coming. Whether it be today, no later than tomorrow, I expect Chicago to either make... I know a lot of people are saying there's going to be no splash, but I don't think anyone saw the Joe Thuney trade coming last year. So I'm going to believe in the Bears. And if not, they've got plenty of draft capital. So we'll see where things progress from there. Back to Kimberly. She says about Aaron Rodgers, make a decision or move on. I'm for moving on, honestly. You can't tell me he'd be better in year two. I agree to an extent, because in year one, it was DK Metcalf and who the hell else, right? And that's that. I mean, when you bring in Adam Thielen, it's not a good look, right? Like Adam Thielen on his last possible year, he leaves Minnesota. He tries to get, and shout out to Mike Tomlin, because he always finds a way to get his team to be relevant at the end of the year. But you bring in Michael Pittman. So, Kimberly, I would argue the additions could make it a little more enticing, but it's got to happen sooner rather than later. This team cannot afford to shoot themselves in the foot and say, oh, we'll take our time, we'll let Aaron come to us. You got to go to Aaron Rodgers. Looking at some of the other stuff here. Start working with Will Howard. I do like Will Howard. I don't know that he'd be a high-level starting quarterback in the NFL, but I would be interested to see him play at the NFL level as well. So I do like that. Kimberly says, do you think 2026 season day one will have an earth-shattering kaboom? If you know, you know. I don't know if I know. That's not poo-poo face, by the way. I'm looking around because I don't know if I know what you are referring to. The Browns have not done anything, Kimberly. Literally nothing. Which is another narrative I saw on social media, was if Myles Garrett would have just gotten his way out of Cleveland, we'd be talking about one of the greatest defensive players of all time. And he still is. But we don't talk about him that way. We talk about one of the best in the NFL playing for one of the worst in the NFL. And I'm not just talking about teams season by season. I'm talking about Myles Garrett plays for one of the worst franchises in the NFL. A franchise that, if you could be more than starving, parched, deprived of any type of success, see the Cleveland Browns. It is sad to see, because I do think the NFL would benefit from having a kind of glow up moment for the Cleveland Browns, but nowhere close. Nowhere close for the Browns. So it's unfortunate. Marvin the Martian, please tell me you did watch Looney Tunes growing up. Okay, so I did. Does it count if I say I did, but I don't remember like a lot of it? And I know that this is something, and this is like a topic of conversation we have gotten into on this show before, but I have missed out on a lot of shows, on a lot of movies, but also I've kind of seen some of them, but nothing really sticks to my brain except for sports and combat sports and what Lady C tells me to do. But even on that end, I miss that most of the time. I will tell you this, like, there are some big kid moments I have, but they're like adult big kid moments. For instance, I love Ted. The movie, the show, season 2 out on Peacock. Absolutely loved it. Like, absolutely loved it. I cackled through every single episode so bad it would make my better half turn around and go, it's not that funny. So, like, I don't remove my childhood from my memories, Kimberly, but what I will say is that when it comes to like movies and TV shows, I'm probably better off either remembering something I just saw recently or something that I've seen 150 times. Like The Office. True story. If I've never told it, The Office is how I go to sleep every night. Shout out again to Peacock for having the Superfan episodes. Have probably watched the entire series back and forth minimum of 10 times. Little update here, not doing well for personal plays. Syracuse, who I had on the money line, they're down 48-62. But on the show, we've got Maryland plus 3.5. We've got Maryland over 67.5. We lost the first half over at 63.5. Shout out to the Oregon Ducks for that. And then we will have Missouri State on the money line versus FIU. But we will likely be off before that game gets into the nitty gritty. But I'm loving this. You guys, and I don't even care how many of you are here. I just care that any of you are here and you're interacting. You're making this much more fun. We can start to incorporate, pop culture stuff. You guys can ask crazy questions. You can do whatever the hell you want. The only thing I would ask is let's really push this because, again, March Madness is here. I'm going to be here in the host chair for all these premium shows, and I want to build a community that is with us not only in the morning, but also with us during the late afternoon and the early evening because we all love this time of the year. MLB is right around the corner. I can tell you for sure I will be campaigning for some Tuesday afternoon pop-ups as the Pirates and the Reds play. I don't know. I'm just making teams up right now. There's going to be times where I really want to have this afternoon, evening community, really get involved with this brand and what we're doing. So if you just word of mouth, word of social media, will go very far for yours truly, and it will mean a lot to me. Kimberly says, I have a brain that retains useless information. I would say that is a very intelligent brain of yours, and I know that from firsthand of seeing you around the brand, Kimberly. And also, I would also credit you for having a brain because several people around me think I don't, and that's okay. That's okay. We are getting close to NBA tip-off tonight. We've already mentioned the big games, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for the Celtics and the Spurs. Kimberly says, baseball business person special. That was always a Wednesday afternoon staple in Cincy. Well, I didn't know that. What I do know, I'm just looking at a few NFL news coming in. The Browns have done something. Ask and you shall receive, Kimberly. The Browns signing center Elgington Jenkins to a 2-year, $24 million deal, first reported by NFL Network and Ian Rappaport. Adam Schefter reporting that former Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders is signing a 1-year deal with the New York Giants. And I know we don't always get into it here at the brand, but I will say today, this afternoon, the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano press conference happened today for their upcoming fight, MMA fight, on Netflix. And I really do believe that the UFC is going to have to do some damage control. Ronda Rousey was one of, if not, with all due respect to every single woman who ever stepped inside the octagon, she is the one who brought the MMA world to the forefront, especially for women on that side. And she had some not so great things to say about the company and about the champions and about the fighters who are on the entry level deals. So I will say this. Credit to Jake Paul for putting on a fight that I think a lot of MMA fans would love to see, whether it's at 40 years old or 20 years old. Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano should be somewhat of an intriguing matchup. And then obviously the big news, Francis Ngannou, who departed ways with the PFL, was released by the PFL, he signs to fight on that same card as Rousey and Carano. He was also at the press conference. He also said he wants to beat up Jake Paul. Enough of that. I had to get that off my chest, though, because I do feel like we are going down a very slippery slope in combat sports on the UFC side. I make no secret about it. I love covering the PFL. I have plenty of interviews coming up for the PFL on what I do outside of this here brand. But when you have your biggest superstar in John Jones asking to be released from your contract, that's a problem. When you have the greatest female superstar, not fighter, superstar, going at what your company has become, that's a problem. When you have Conor McGregor, who, a part of Smashcast, who the Coaching Company brand will be working with alongside of the Smashcast media. They get a once-in-a-lifetime, not many places can land it. They land a Conor McGregor interview with Ian Parker and Chael Sonnen. It is out on the Smashcast Media YouTube page, so make sure to give that a look. But when you have Conor McGregor speaking on not being a part of the UFC's White House event, these are three major superstars. You walked up to anyone. Hey, have you watched the UFC in the last 15 years? Yes, I have. Who are the three biggest names you know? Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, John Jones. All three of them could have had an opportunity to compete inside the UFC's octagon this year. All three of them very, very unhappy with the state of affairs inside that company. And if you're Dana White, as JC1 says, Dana White is forgetting who made him a bunch of money. I don't think he is. I think he's acknowledging who gave him even more money. that being Paramount Plus. And that's another thing Ronda Rousey said. He is kind of catering to shareholders and the decision makers over at Paramount. We'll see. Yes, Kimberly says, wow, all of this kicker money in the NFL. I don't know the deal for Jason Sanders. That was not provided by Adam Schefter, but I will say that is another kicker off the board. And how about this, guys? I don't even have a breaking news alert, and I need to have one. I might actually. Yes, I do. It's going to have to do, right? We have a once in a lifetime, and I can't even believe I'm here to say this. And JC1 Kimberly, please don't leave when I do this because this is groundbreaking, folks. This is something that not many people on a Tuesday evening at 5:06 Central, 6:06 Eastern will ever have the opportunity to say on a broadcast. But per Ian Rappaport, there has been a trade in the NFL. The Houston Texans are trading for Saints punter Kai Kroger. The teams are swapping 6th and 7th rounders in 2028. You want kicker news, Kimberly? You want hard-hitting breaking news, Kimberly? JC1? Everyone watching our premium pop-up here on our YouTube channel and on social media, you guys want to know what really moves the needle? Punter trades on March 10th in the NFL. Go find me another brand that's covering it. I'll say this. Going back to the Cleveland Browns move for Elgington Jenkins, their entire offensive line was facing free agency. And I believe they brought back one or two of their offensive linemen from last season. I actually think Tevin Jenkins was one that they re-signed. They've made a couple moves on the offensive line at the tackle position. I know they've recently made a trade with Houston. So the Browns, I was hitting the panic button, but it looks like they know that they have to upgrade the offensive line. Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson cannot be running for their respective lives. All right, a little update here. SMU's just running away with this thing. SMU is up 20 points now. It is 72-52. Thank you, Syracuse. Should have never done it. I should have just stayed with my gut. I should have stayed with my heart. I wanted to go with SMU, but I was trying to bring more excitement to you all. I was trying to have personal plays of SMU, Syracuse, and Maryland, and I didn't do it correctly. So that's on me. That's my bad. Again, this is the first premium show, so we'll get better, and hopefully I won't be by myself all the time, but we will get better as we get back on track. I don't know the schedule for the rest of this week, if there will be. We'll tackle it right now. We will not be on. I know Wednesdays will kind of be off the board for me. Thursday, see, the issue here, I should say, is I have to work Celtics game. When the Celtics play, I have to work them and for my writing job. And so it is hard, especially road games. I'm number one in coverage on the docket for away game coverage. So every away game, I've got to be front and center watching said Celtics game and doing my writing work. So Thursday, the Celtics are on the road. I think it's Thursday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shout out, by the way. Wish I was at that game. OKC only 3.5 hours away. So yes, Thursday, but it is a later start. So maybe, just maybe, we'll squeeze in a Thursday edition for the premium shows. Friday is open, but I am going to look here. You know what? Oh, well, that's at 10 a.m. But I can tell you that Miami, Ohio is playing on Thursday. They'll take on UMass, so that'll be fun. A lot of TBD on the board, but we've got Kansas on deck. We've got North Carolina on deck. Number one, Duke plays. Houston plays. UConn plays. So I think what I'm getting at here, folks, is we're more than likely looking at quite an opportunity for a live premium pop-up on Thursday. I will figure out the time. And on Friday, well, you got Michigan playing in the middle of or at the beginning of the day. You've got Illinois playing in the afternoon, so maybe a little afternoon premium show. We will see, because Arkansas plays Friday night, and you guys do not want to see me on said broadcast with the Razorbacks. All right, I don't know what is happening here or what. Oh, we have a coach's challenge. It is 33-17. Maryland over Oregon right now. 19-20 in the second half, and the Syracuse Orange are down 15. Not much else happening. We've gone about just over an hour, and I think for now, and if I am wrong, I will make a full-on apology video specifically mentioning everyone who interacted in the chat. So, Big Cheesy, JC1, Kimberly, all of you will get acknowledged in this apology video if Maryland blows this game. But because I don't believe they will, I will just say it's been a pleasure hanging out with you all. I've had a ton of fun. Thank you again. This is the middle of the day solo premium pop-up, and we're going to see how long we are going to go with either just the premium or during March Madness if we build a bit of a fan base, because we want you guys to become premium members. But for all of you who are, you're welcome no matter what. So thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, JC1. Thank you, Big Cheesy. Thank you to every single person who tuned in today here on the Premium Pop-Up Show as part of Coach and Company. It does pay to sit here and cash tickets with us. One more time. Now, we're going to have one red X. We are. That first half over of 63.5. Well, thank you very much, Oregon. You are absolutely terrible. They still haven't even crossed the 20-point mark, and there's 18 minutes now to go in the second half. Hit a three, get fouled, do something. They just missed another layup while I was talking. Maryland is going to absolutely dominate the Oregon Ducks tonight, and I've said it here so you know it's true. Maryland plus 3.5. That team total, we're about 30 points away. Maryland has 36 right now. I've got the over 67.5. So we will see at the end of the game if that cashes, but the plus 3.5 looks pretty good right now. And then in a game starting in about 15 minutes from now, we've got Missouri State money line versus FIU. And JC1, I would never, ever bail on a loyal fan and viewer, just, someone who's part of our brand. He says, what's the live under? And I'm guessing he means in this Maryland-Oregon game. The number now is 122.5. The current spread for Maryland, 13.5. I don't even have words. And if this didn't entertain you guys, I'm sorry, because you simply don't have a great sense of humor. But this is what you're going to get, right? If you guys know me, you guys can say the butt kisser, the kiss up mountain, or the poo-poo face. You're going to get these reactions because I cannot hide my facial reactions. I will save my own personal thoughts for Syracuse for when I get off this broadcast. But Maryland, I just want to jump for joy. But Oregon, could you have shown up just once? Just a little bit? That's all I needed. Maryland up 41-20 in Chicago. First round of the Big Ten Conference Tournament action going down right now, and Syracuse now down 13. At least it's not 20, Mike. I don't know why you're upset. At least they're not losing by 20, even though you had them on the money line. All right, for JC1, Kimberly, Big Cheesy, everyone who joined us in the chat and watched either on our YouTube page or through social media. Thank you to each and every single one of you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us. And as Kimberly said, it's been a great way to end the workday. I mean, that is one of the best compliments I could receive, and that's no joke. So the fact that on your workday or during your workday, rather, you're choosing to put me on, and you know it's just me, or at least you did know it's just me, and you didn't run for the hills. That means more to me than you will ever know. So thank you to every single one of you, and most importantly, thank you to our leader at the brand, Coach, for allowing me to get back in this host chair and really try to hone my craft for these premium shows. Guys, let's do it again on Thursday. And hell, guys, maybe let's even do it again on Friday. I will have an updated time for you guys after I talk to the leaders in charge here at the Coaching Company brand and BTT Studios. A new episode of Coach and Bro is out from yesterday, so make sure to check that out over on the BTT side. And as JC1 puts it in the chat, we will see you tomorrow morning for Coaching Company on our YouTube page. Remember, preempted on Stadium. So until then, we will see you all tomorrow right here on Coaching Company.